Hello everybody and welcome to the second round of Digital-Motorsports.com Indy Pro 2000 Cup, sponsored by Next Level Racing, Driver 61 and iRacing. There's no messing about here tonight. We're straight into the Laguna Seca race. It's the Pro-Am race first and foremost to get proceedings underway in the hot conditions here. Temperature's really hot at Laguna Seca, and it looks like we are already underway as we make our way now in towards the first couple of corners and then down the hill for the very first time. Temperature is extremely hot at this circuit, I can tell you that right now here in sunny California as we make our way in towards the first turn for the first time. We've got cars running wide going through. I think that was McKenna there, running slightly wide going through turn one, and it's all about the start here. It's a very awkward start going down the hill towards turn one, and you've got to make sure you pick out your braking zone here. As you can see, Jack Newman's got a really good start here as he makes his way now, finds his way through the field as we make our way now down towards the next section, in towards the flying left-hander as we now make the climb up towards that legendary corkscrew. It's not the next corner, it's the one after that, the corner that so many people have to make sure they get themselves ready for as we head over the hill now. Here it comes, the corkscrew, heading our way now down the hill. It's a heavy braking zone, followed by lots of undulation change here going down the hill, and you have to use that downhill section to help with the traction on exit as you now make our way flying through turn 9, onwards now towards turn 10. You can see here Jack Newman is getting closed in pretty rapidly from the car behind right now, but he's run wide, Newman. That's going to allow McKenna to get the move done now. In towards turn number 11 he goes, and now in to the lead of this race. And we've got a spinner at the back. It's Hederman around at the final corner, and it's caused carnage in the background at turn 11. Lots of cars caught up in that one. That was huge there, all from Hederman having a spin at that final corner, and drivers just did not have enough time to react. Carnage there, and the only two that have really made it through, McKenna and Newman, leading the way here. Healy has made his way through. Lyons as well in 4th place. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the field fare. There is at least one retirement, only 3 wheels on a wagon somewhere out there, but we'll have to wait and confirm who that is before we jump to assumptions. What we know is McKenna leads the way from a Newman mistake. It's Healy 3rd, Lyons in 4th, with Toomey in 5th, McGovern in 6th. Oh, we got a spinner, another one. Jack Newman's around again, going through that right-hander. Lots of cars struggling for grip in these conditions as we now make our way with this huge pack now heading in towards the left-hander. Lots of cars going side by side here, as that is Newman who's having to recover there. He was running in 2nd place, but that latest stop, oh, we've got another car off there. That was Lyons getting it wrong all the way through the corner before the corkscrew. So lots of drivers getting it all sorts of wrong going through here, and hopefully they can iron out these mistakes sooner rather than later. Riding on board there with Toomey, who's just kept his head down, and he's managed to make up a lot of time here, now up into the podium positions. His next target is Healy. Meanwhile, McKenna leads the way by quite some distance right now as we make our way towards the 3rd lap of this race. In fact, McKenna has just set the fastest lap of this race. No surprise, really. He's got no traffic around him. He just needs to make sure he keeps his head down and keeps up this fantastic pace. We've got lots of cars in the pit lane. No surprise there, with lots of damage around the field. They'll have had to have really gone a whole lap around with the damage they've had as we now make our way over that crest once again. This is James Clark here we're seeing in 7th place. I believe he's trying to chase down Shine ahead of him, riding on board now with Clark there in that Benson's car. Lovely livery there as he now makes his way all the way through into turn 3. Now heading up towards turn 4, you can see he's just trying to close in as best he can as he now makes his way through, but still a long race to go here. We've got a 3-way battle here. I believe this is McMillan, Masterson, and Lacey, all looking to try and look up those positions right now. As there's a little bit sideways there from Masterson as he makes his way in towards that turn 6 there, just about recovering and making his way through. Now we climb up the hill towards the corkscrew. Look at this here. Oh, they've made contact here. Who was at fault for that one? That's Masterson there, I think, was squeezed. Both cars, though, McMullen and Masterson, both out of this race. Lots of retirements, lots of crashes here in the Pro-Am series so far, and it's all just getting a little bit towards boiling point at the moment. But in any case, we have at least 3 retirements. I think we've got more than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, you can see Hederman is out of the race. We've got O'Shea, who's also out of the race, and Masterson and McMullen, no way they can repair that car. We've got a battle for 2nd place up ahead between Healy and Toomey. McGovern is looking to try and close this gap wherever he can, riding on board with Healy then, who's in 2nd place. McKenna, meanwhile, 10 seconds up the road. That just shows you how important getting that good start was for him and staying out of trouble. the fewer mistakes he makes, obviously, the better he's going to perform, with all the incidents happening behind him. The 187 car of Nathan Healy currently in second place, but he is being pulled in by Toomey right now. McGovern is also not too far away as they now make their way through that left-hander of turn 6, now going all the way up the hill in towards Rahal Straight, and now down towards the corkscrew once again. Such a lovely corner, this one. Oh, we got a spinner, another one. It's Toomey now, who's lost the back end on entry in towards the corkscrew. McGovern is handed P3 here, and Harry McGovern now onto the podium places. As we see there, let's have a replay of what's this. This is Harry McGovern now, making his way up the hill and towards the corkscrew. So we're going to see firsthand, really, what happened up ahead of him. There's the spinner. Yeah, Toomey just locked up the rears on entry. And unfortunately for him, that is the back end saying you're having a laugh. He just carried too much speed in, left his braking too late. And unfortunately for him, he's locked the rear brakes and around he goes. There is your race leader, McKenna, leading by 11.2 seconds ahead of Healy and McGovern. It's Toomey who's recovered to 4th place. Newman, Clark, Shine, all in 5th, 6th and 7th, really in that formation right now. Collier is in 8th place with Lacey, 9th, and James rounds out the top 10 for now. But as you can see, these cars are well, they're very unpredictable in some scenarios. They could be absolutely perfect going into the corkscrew, but as we've already seen, these cars are very skittish, especially on the throttle. You've got to be very, very careful about the traction going through here. We've got a great battle developing between Newman, Clark and Shine here as we make our way now up the hill. As we see here, Shine looking for an inside move in towards turn 6. Never going to happen there. It's such a flowing left-hander that if you're running side by side there, you'll be lucky to get the move done. Clark there is looking for options, surely not into the inside of the corkscrew there. No, he has to back out of that one. But Clark here will be keeping right on the back of Newman as they now make their way in towards turn 9. Down the hill we go towards turn 10. And then finally in towards turn 11. A good overtaking opportunity into the braking zone of turn 11. If not, you've got the braking zone of turn 1. It is a flowing left-hander where the braking is much later. But we've got another car off there. Oh, that's Newman, who ran wide onto the gravel, then rejoined, and Shine had to take avoiding action. Meanwhile, Healy and McGovern are battling away here for second place as they head now in towards the first turn. It's that long left-hander where it seems like an A to get on the throttle, but McGovern there has got a fantastic exit out of turn 1. Now we head in towards turn 2, but of course McGovern there taking a wider line is not going to be able to carry as much speed through without that understeer. Healy managing to hold on to second place for now. McGovern in third, but watch out for Toomey as well. He'll be wanting to try and reclaim that third place before he locked the rear brakes going in towards the corkscrew just 2 laps ago. McKenna still leads by 14 seconds now. He's absolutely loving this race so far as now we make our way in towards turn number 6 and up Rahal Straight. We now make our way towards the corkscrew. Once again, McGovern looking for options as we head in towards that legendary corkscrew corner, that lovely Dutch angle there. Oh, McGovern's had a little bit of a moment there, and Toomey has just sweeped around the outside and taken that position. Well, that was McGovern making a mistake at some point in the corkscrew, and it's cost him a position here. Meanwhile, Clark and Shine are having a battle for 5th and 6th place as they make their way down towards that final corner once again. Shine will be looking to try and prioritise the exit here. Gets onto the curb, but he's got the traction down. He should be able to try and close into the car ahead. Meanwhile, Healy in second place, Toomey in third, with McGovern 4th, Clark 5th, and Shine in 6th. That is your battle for second place. Lots of cars involved in this one, 5 cars involved. But this battle for second place now, as we're just reaching halfway mark in this race, with McKenna 16 seconds up the road ahead of this battle for second place. Let's see how this all develops as we head now past that halfway stage. Healy 2nd, Toomey 3rd, McGovern in 4th, Clark in 5th, and Shine in 6th place there. Newman is trying to close in on the cars ahead of him. Just to give you an update on Hederman, who was running in 3rd place, had that spin out. He's currently running, I believe, in 13th place, but he is a lap down, so he'll be looking to try and get to the line. Lots have happened in this race so far. Very easily happen again. McGovern looking for a move there in towards the corkscrew, surely not too wide through there. And you realise it's not a good idea. McGovern has to back out of that move from Toomey and has to stay in 4th place for now. But every driver really in this field has had their fair share of mistakes. So it's all about trying to iron out those mistakes as much as possible and just to try and get that pace as well. As for McKenna, he's now 17 seconds up the road. A little bit of a back end stepping out there for Toomey as he makes his way through, but didn't seem to affect his overall momentum. He's looking for a move on Healy then as we head through now down towards turn 1. He's on the outside here, leaving his braking later than Healy here. Trying to go round the outside, but no real space for him. Now Healy has to try and defend the inside line because there comes McGovern, who's looking to try and take advantage of this one. He now goes around the outside in towards turn 3. He's got at least third place there, and that was a lovely move in the end from McGovern, just taking advantage of Toomey running wide. Now he's in prime position to take away that second place if he's got that pace, and if he irons out those mistakes. He's now flying in towards turn 6. Now we head up the hill now. Sorry, that was turn 5 there. We're now heading up towards turn 6. You can see Toomey right behind, but didn't get that perfect entry in towards turn 6 there. We've got another car off the road. I think that's a back marker though, so cars just about filtering through there. Healy in second place, still McGovern in third, Toomey in fourth. Clark and Shine here are just watching this battle on and seeing what happens at the end of it. And the car at the tail end there is a lap down, so we got another car off there. Just about Clark keeping that on the track, but that's an invitation for Shine here. Will he accept that invitation? Up the inside he goes in towards turn 11. He's got the inside line, but it's a tighter exit off the corner. He might struggle for momentum as we cross that start-finish line. Shine and Clark are going to go side by side in through turn 1, but you can see that Clark has just about got that momentum for now. He'll have to hang it round the outside. We see Healy, McGovern and Toomey still battling for second place in this race. That's just allowing McKenna to ever increase his gap on the battle for second place. Almost 20 seconds now in the lead of this race. That's Toomey, who's had a moment there, just about keeping that in check on the exit of turn 3, but he's lost a lot of time here. Now he's behind Shine. In fact, he's battling Clark now, so that Clark-Shine battle happened off the screen, but now we make our way in through turn number 4 there. And turn 5, and now we see that Toomey has lost a lot of ground there, and onto the gravel he goes once again, almost into the sand there as he made his way through, but just about keeping it in check. But that's just allowing Newman behind him to try and recuperate some of these positions. There is Naveed Hussain there. As you can see, he's trying to chase up the race leader there, but he is a lap down so far. But McKenna is absolutely dominating here. 1:17.4 was his fastest, or his last lap, I should say, in this race. There's McGovern trying to chase down Healy for second place. Runs a little bit deep into the final corner there, almost catching that sleeping policeman on the inside, which can really stunt your momentum. But if you get into the slipstream of the car ahead, you can really make back that time. Heading now in towards turn 2, this long sweeping left-hander. And you can see here, this battle for second place is not going anywhere anytime soon. Toomey there, now 1.6 behind Clark, as he's there in 6th place. You can see in that bright green car. Newman trying to follow him through, so too is Collier, who's not too far behind, but he'll realise that lots of mistakes are happening ahead of him. If he keeps his head down and his mistakes to a minimum, he could be in with a chance of a good result here. McGovern 7/10 down now as we head our way through. McKenna's out from the lead. Surely that's not the case. Well, at the moment then, they're closing in, and McKenna... Oh, no, he is there. The timing system there, playing horrible tricks on us all. But McKenna, luckily though for him, is still in this race and very much leading it by almost 21 seconds. In fact, now by 21 seconds as we head on to lap number 11 with only a handful of laps to go. Still 21 seconds in the better position. Healy second, McGovern third, Shine fourth with Clark in fifth. Toomey now is in 6th place with Collier in 7th. Newman there might be having issues at this moment in time. Just there. Hopefully you're enjoying the race so far, and well, for the race leader in McKenna. He's doing a fantastic job as well, just keeping his mistakes to a minimum. Temperature at this moment is really hot. I'm hoping this heat will hopefully not translate to the drivers at this moment in time. They have been making mistakes left, right and centre at the moment. So unfortunately for them, they'll be hoping that they can really take advantage of that. But now McGovern and Healy trying to have a battle there. There is your race leader in McKenna, but now we've got that battle for second place being reignited once again. McGovern leading Healy, Shine and Clark for that second place battle, but you can see there Shine's looking for a move up the inside of Healy there in towards the final corner. Can he get the exit that he needs, or can Healy just about hold on? He's got the momentum, has Healy, and he will be able to hold on. But are they going to make it 3 wide going through turn 1? You bet they are. How about through turn 2? No, sensibly 2 wide through turn 2 there. As you can see, Shine has the inside line, Healy's on the outside. Clark might try and take full advantage of this one with the traction on the exit. Now heading in towards turn 4, but Healy's able to hold on to 4th place for now. Shine now up to 3rd, and he's now the next target, or the next person to try and chase down McGovern for that position. That second place has really been up in the air. Nobody knows who's going to get it. If you're in that battle on the final lap, there's a very good chance you could grab that second place. What's not so certain is trying to grab that first place. McKenna, 24 seconds almost up the road. That is just how much he's been dominating, and he's been helped as well by this great battling behind us. Clark getting a great run through turn 6. He's now side by side with Healy on the entrance in towards the corkscrew, and I think Healy's had to back out of that one. No, he's still there on the left-hand side, heading now through the corkscrew, and now heading in towards turn 9. You can see Clark has to go the long way around, but he's confident to turn in and gets the move done. Clark there gets the move on Healy there. Not often you see 2 cars go side by side through the corkscrew and it not end in tears, but Clark there, fair play to him. He's got the move done. A little bit sideways on entry into the final corner. Has Healy able to take advantage? No, he can't. Meanwhile, Toomey there is only just over half a second back from Healy ahead of him. Healy might be struggling for grip here. He might just be struggling in general now heading in towards turn 2. A real chance for second place. There you can see his 120.9, so he's not had a clean lap there, and that has made him fall all the way down the order. With 3 laps to go, 2 and a bit if you are picky, McKenna leads the way as McGovern is in second place. Shine in 3rd with Clark in 4th, Healy 5th, Toomey 6th, Collier in 7th, Newman 8th, O'Shea in 9th, and Lacey rounds out the top 10. There is Toomey there looking for a move down the inside here. Has he got that move done going through turn 5? Yes, he has. Dived it down the inside of 5 and gets the move done on Healy. Toomey now is up to P5 as he flies now through turn 6 and up the hill as we head towards the corkscrew once again. And Toomey there feeling like he has to go a little bit defensive up the hill, but nevertheless he's got that move done as O'Shea moves ahead of Newman then for 8th place. McKenna still leading this way. McGovern in 2nd, Shine in 3rd with Clark in 4th. As you can see there, Toomey having an exploration of the track there, really trying to use as much of the track as possible as we head now down in towards that final corner once again. Hopefully McGovern will be holding on to second place for now, but he's not got long to go to try and hold on to it. Only 2 laps to go, but Shine is quickly closing on him. Only about half a second now between the 2 of them. As you can see, we see Toomey here just ahead of Healy, and Healy might be trying a little bit of a comeback here, but he's lapping in the 120s, and the cars ahead of him are lapping in the 119s. That's not going to help him whatsoever as we head into the closing stages of the Pro and Feature race. Don't forget, we've got the Pro races coming up straight after this one, so make sure you do stick around here as we hope to bring you a great night's worth of racing. We see here McKenna still leading the way, 23 seconds. That gap has come down to the race leader, but unfortunately for McGovern, it might be too late. But 23 seconds is as it stands. That's McGovern in 2nd. Shine rounding out the top 3 right now with Clark in 4th. There you can see Toomey in 5th place with Healy in 6th. Collier is still in 7th place. McKenna's crossed the start-finish line to start the final lap of this race, and he has been in dominating form here. He really has just been the definition of keeping your head down and making as few mistakes as possible. We've also got a great battle for P2 developing as we head into the closing stages and onto the final lap of this race. McKenna leads, but what about this battle for second place? Shine, McGovern, and Clark. Any one of them could be second place, or it could even be Toomey. You never know. Toomey has just set his fastest lap of the race. That's his personal best lap of this race, a 1:18.1, as he looks to try and close in as best as he possibly can. McGovern maybe struggling for grip out of turn 2 as we head in towards turn 3 and 4. Now making our way towards turn 5. That purple and pink car of McGovern trying to hold on for P3. These three have been swapping positions left, right and centre for the entire race. And Shine, who found himself in 6th place around 3 laps ago, now finds himself in 2nd. McGovern's got a fantastic run all the way through turn 5. Now we come up towards turn 6. McGovern's up the inside and he snatches P2 away. Shine didn't get the greatest exit, and he's not got the greatest exit out of turn 6. Clark trying to now go around the outside as we enter in towards the corkscrew there. Oh, that's a Constantina effect there in towards the corkscrew, and all three of them have been involved. Massive crash there as Clark, I believe that was, collected there. Healy's managed to find his way through. Carnage going through the corkscrew. McKenna has taken the checkered flag and wins the Pro-Am feature race, but McGovern there, he wasn't even involved. He spun on his own. But it all happened behind him, though. That's put Healy up to 2nd place. Clark is now in 3rd. Shine now trying to go for 3rd place. Up the inside of Clark, who's got no front wing on that car. Now making our way towards the checkered flag. It's Healy's going to be in 2nd. Shine might just about pick Clark to the line, which he does, to 3rd place. Clark there in 4th. Collier in 5th. Toomey is going to cross the line in 6th place. O'Shea almost took advantage of that one. He finishes in 7th place. And McGovern will finish all the way down the field in 8th place, so long as he can get that car to the line. He's got Lacey to deal with as well as he makes his way towards the line. But what a finish as we head towards the closing stages. We've got Shane Connolly there, who's in 12th place. Haven't seen a lot of him this race as he makes his way now towards the final corner. There is Newman. What a race it could have been for him. He finishes in 11th place. Connolly will come across the line in 12th, but he's got some defending to do from McMullen towards the line, and Connolly does get that 12th place. McMullen finishing in 13th. Hussein finishes in 14th, and Hederman, who had that spin early on in this race, will finish in 15th in the last car on the lead lap. Well, that about does it for the Pro-Am race. Now you can see Johnny McMullen there taking the walk. That is your warm-up results. That's not obviously the race results, but what a race we had here. I mean, carnage at the start going through turn 3, and then we had the carnage going in towards the corkscrew later on. I'll tell you what, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that steward's room just to see what on earth happened going through there. But hopefully you did enjoy that race as well. Make sure as well, you do stick around for the pro stream that's happening later on tonight. I'm hoping you've enjoyed this one. Of course, this is the Digital-Motorsports.com Indy Pro 2000 Cup, sponsored by Next Level Racing, Driver 61 and iRacing. Don't forget as well, for the drivers in Pro-Am and in the Pro class, there is a €1,000 total prize fund available with €250 going to the lucky winner of the race. It's a driver-only series, so they don't have to worry about teammates. They're just on their own here. But that is what it's on the line for as we head through. So hopefully you did enjoy that one. We've also, don't forget as well, Driver 61, a new dedicated sim coaching section on digitalmotorsports.com, where you can get now sim coaching from Scott Mansell and his team. So if you want to know anything about that, make sure you do go to the digitalmotorsports.com website, where you can find out all the details as well. But quite an abrupt end there for at least McGovern, who had a chance for 2nd place. I mean, he spun it on his own, that looked like, going through there. I'm not quite sure who the car when airborne was, but whoever it was got major suspension damage to the car there. So I wonder if that wasn't Healy, because he managed to take advantage. He faded of pace towards the end there, running in sort of P6 towards the end, and that just shows you, stay in the race, stay in it as much as you can. You never know what's going to happen ahead, and he comes away with the 2nd place. Of course, these are official, unofficial results, as I call them, pending steward's inquiry, but that is McKenna who is taking the win. I can't see that win being taken away from him. He's 24 seconds ahead, so that is going to be a tough ask for him. It was Nathan Healy taking that 2nd place, and I believe Kevin Shine up some huge places for him, so he had some serious pace towards the end there. It was Clark finishing in 4th place, and again, it was just a case of making sure you keep your head down and trying to basically get to the end of the race as best as you can. Keeping those mistakes to a minimum really benefited the likes of McGovern, who just managed to run away with this one. There you can see, I believe that is your race winner there, the green number one car. Absolutely enjoyed himself out there, didn't he? He was absolute wonder to, well, at least when we saw him watch, in full control of that car and in full control of his pace as well. It looks like he just really enjoyed himself out there. Shows on the lap times as well. The important thing was as well that everything happened behind him. And as sometimes as a driver, you've just got to bank on that luck that P2 is just a scrap battle. The instance that happened behind him as well on the very first lap of this race, don't forget, would have helped him to no end. But at the end of the day, you've got to be in that car and you've got to get it to the checkered flag. And he did that superbly well. Nathan Healy, as we already spoken about him, but Kevin Shine had a fantastic race. I mean, he was sixth place with about 3 laps to go. Could have been second place for him, but unfortunately things didn't work out and he manages to finish in third place. But yeah, lots of cars caught up in that one, especially on the first lap incident. And that will probably be going to the driver stewards, no doubt about that, with that on the line. And we have the results now, your official, unofficial results. It is Patrick McKenna who takes the win. Nathan Healy in second place. That's 32 seconds now, of course, with that incident at the end. It's Kevin Shine in third, with James Clark in fourth. Dave Collier finishing in fifth place. Dermot Toomey in sixth place. Rory O'Shea in seventh. Harry McGovern, what could have been for him, in eighth place. Kevin Lacey finishes in ninth place, with Kelby James, rounding out the top 10. Jack Newman, Shane Connolly, Damien McMullen, Naveed Hussein, and Hederman there at the bottom, finishing on the lead lap. But again, Hederman spun himself out from third place, and that unfortunately caused that massive pileup we saw at the beginning of this race. Joao Montero, Rob O'Neill, and Richard Lyons, they're also making it to the checkered flag. But there are your Heat 1 results, by the way, that were not on the stream. It was Naveed Hussein taking that one, 3 seconds ahead of James Clark and Rory O'Shea. You can see Richard Lyons there in fourth place. Raul Montero finishing in fifth. Hederman in sixth, with Colby James in seventh. Healy finishing in eighth. Masterson in ninth. And Patrick McKenna, race winner of the feature race, managing to finish in 10th place. There you can see Toomey, McMullen, Connolly, Lacey, Newby, McGovern, O'Neill, and Collier there, rounding off that one. Of course, that was Heat 1, which was raced earlier on, but of course we didn't see that on the stream. We only streamed the feature race for the Pro-Am, so it gets them the advantage of nobody watching. We're going to cut to some ads, so hopefully you'll join us after these short messages.
Are you looking to get involved in simulator racing? Here at Digital-Motorsports.com, we're a one-stop shop for all your sim racing needs, supplying wheels, pedals, shifters, handbrakes, monitors, virtual reality headsets, seats, chassis, fully built sim solutions and custom built PCs from all the top brands that you know and love. To find out more, visit Digital-Motorsports.com. Enjoying what you're watching and want to become the next sim racing star? Here at Digital-Motorsports.com, not only can we supply all the parts, but we can custom build your dream simulator rig from start to finish. Just like we have done for world famous drivers like rally legend Craig Breen, drift superstars James Dean and Conor Shanahan. We can build, deliver and set up your full custom simulator rig in your home and offer round the clock support to keep you racing to the top. To find out more, visit Digital-Motorsports.com. Are you itching to get racing? Whether it's circuit racing, drifting, rallying or even karting, here at Digital-Motorsports.com we run some of the best online leagues in the world. To get involved, visit our website at Digital-Motorsports.com and enroll for our next event.
Well, we can see here from the Heat 1 results, they are On your screen now, of course, these races were not streamed. We only saw the feature race, but those are the results from earlier on tonight in heat number 1. Well, I can tell you right now that if the feature race was anything to go by, you can probably tell what the heat races were like as well. You can see much closer in the timings there. McMullen obviously taking the race win in heat number 2. And if anything to say, all these results will be counted up against each driver, of course, including the feature race, and they'll be added there. As I said, €1,000 prize fund, covering the entire field here in Pro-Am and in the professional races. And of course, that €250 is for the race winner. Now you can see the feature results as well, with McKenna leading by 32 seconds. That's going to be a huge boost to his points tally as he made his way through. Just a pretty dominant and professional race from him, ironed out those mistakes and was able to just keep pushing on and keep setting those consistent lap times. Don't forget as well, we do have the pros at it very, very shortly, and we'll be giving you the coverage for them very shortly as well. So make sure you don't click off the stream, don't go anywhere, because we'll be bringing you that race just very, very soon. In fact, we're going to be doing it just now. So hold your horses. We've got some ads and we've got more racing.
Are you looking to get involved in simulator racing? Here at Digital-Motorsports.com, we're a one-stop shop for all your sim racing needs, supplying wheels, pedals, shifters, handbrakes, monitors, virtual reality headsets, seats, chassis, fully built sim solutions and custom-built PCs from all the top brands that you know and love. To find out more, visit Digital-Motorsports.com. Enjoying what you're watching and Are you looking to get involved in simulator racing? Here at Digital-Motorsports.com, we're a one-stop shop for all your sim racing needs, supplying wheels, pedals, shifters, handbrakes, monitors, virtual reality headsets, seats, chassis, fully built sim solutions and custom-built PCs from all the top brands that you know and love. To find out more, visit Digital-Motorsports.com.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, you're very, very welcome along to the Digital-Motorsports.com Indy Pro 2000 Cup, sponsored by Next Level Racing and supported by Driver 61. So the 4th of July, it all happened in Phoenix, Arizona on the oval. We barely got 30 laps of racing, 7 cautions we managed in that oval race, and Oisin Walsh eventually came out the victor in that one. We're back on the circuit once again for round number 3 here in Monterey, California. We're here at the Mazda Raceway at Laguna Seca. This is a staple of every iRacing's driver's career. They would have passed through this circuit doing Mazdas, whatever, but it is a free circuit, so every driver will know the circuit like the back of their hand. It's going to be really interesting. My name is Jack Cannon. Alongside me is Sam Fitzpatrick, as always. Sam, we were talking just before the show started. I think, hopefully, we're going to get a lot more racing today than we did on the 4th of July.
Yes, hopefully that is the case. I think these drivers are a bit more experienced with this type of circuit. We've also got plenty of run affairs as well, but for the most part, we know that these guys can produce some fantastic racing. Remember, this is the Pro division, so the absolute best of Digital Motorsports in this top division. And this circuit's a brilliant host for round 3 of the championship. We had a break week of course last time, so it's very nice to see everyone back. As you're saying, a circuit that everyone knows. I think on other simulators as well. I recall doing Gran Turismo races around this place as well. I think it's on the majority of the other simulators out there and other arcade games. So should be plenty of expert drivers around this place, and should be in for some good tight racing.
Exactly. So we've just seen qualifying is currently underway. We're going to have a heat race and then the feature race where a number of the grid will get reversed. We'll find out that is due.
I recall doing Gran Turismo races around this place as well. I think it's on the majority of the other simulators out there and other arcade games. So should be plenty of expert drivers around this place, and should be in for some good tight racing.
Exactly. So we've just seen qualifying is currently underway. We're going to have a heat race and then the feature race where a number of the grid will get reversed. We'll find out that is based on the numbers that are on the grid tonight. So a smaller grid than a couple of weeks ago where we had upwards of 40 drivers. So a smaller field today, but hopefully that should provide some good action. But Peter Dempsey currently secures the pole for the heat race. Oscar Mangan next to him. And then Oisin Walsh, the victor from the oval race, in third place. Jordan Kelly, of course, winner in Daytona. And Keith Dempsey in P5. So Keith Dempsey actually, just having a look at the championship standings, Keith Dempsey is actually now the championship leader by the smallest of margins. He's 3 points ahead of Oisin Walsh in that place. And Wayne Douglas, who I can't seem to see on the list today, he's third, with Peter Dempsey is P4 in the championship, 14 points off the leader. So it is very, very close at this point in time in the championship. And we're nearly halfway through it, over halfway into the season. 3 out of 5 rounds we have in this one. But Peter Dempsey won 16.3, Mangan won 16.4, and then a bit of a gap back to Walsh, won 16.6. We look now at Niall Murray coming through the last corner as he surges down towards turn number 1. And we'll see where he's going to pop us. If he can pop himself into the top 10 will be a good result for Niall. Across the line he comes and is not going to improve on that position anyway. But qualifying almost over, and I think he's just running some more laps just to get his eye in, I think, a little bit now. But we'll head to the heat race now shortly. 15 laps and then a warm-up and then the feature race with a number of the drivers getting reversed in their order. So Peter Dempsey next to Oscar Mangan, and we saw Peter Dempsey in Daytona, Sam, how competitive he was on the oval sections. Almost got the win there, but didn't quite go his way. Jordan Kelly coming out on the top of that one. But Peter Dempsey, of course, the team principal of Turn 3 Motorsport, and will be very familiar with these cars. Of course, runs a team in these. They're looking impressive so far. 10th of a second ahead of Oscar Mangan is no easy feat.
Absolutely. I mean, Mangan absolutely dominated in the GT4 series, didn't he? I think he won every single one of the race ones, got a couple of doubles as well. So yeah, to get ahead of him is very impressive. I mean, all the Turn 3 guys very competitive. Remember, this is a fixed setup series, so it's not a case of these guys have got one guy who's really good at the setup, who has helped out the other drivers. They've just put in the hours as a team, maybe collectively working together on the racing lines, and then being able to bring a very competitive package today. There is Nicky Meredith. Of course, all the laps have been completed by the drivers. They are limited on the amount of laps they can do, and with such a short circuit as this is, the majority of the 10 minutes is pretty much just for the drivers to have a little bit of fun out there. And Meredith just getting used to these current track conditions that we're going to have to take part in this Heat 1 with. Not quite sure what the temperature is at the moment in sunny California. I'm sure it's going to be pretty warm up there. 28 degrees track temperature, so pretty cool. Wonder if they'll get a little bit warmer as the day goes on.
Yeah, that is quite cool for California. But yeah. So we'll head to the heat race number 1 then. I was just having a quick check on the other rounds, and it's interesting to note that the Dempseys, so Keith Dempsey, Peter Dempsey, Oscar Mangan, they have not won at all in this season so far. Of course, the opening heat race in Daytona went to Wayne Douglas, then the feature race went to Jordan Kelly, and then, of course, we had Oisin Walsh winning in Phoenix. So it's been an interesting one so far. Keith Dempsey not stood on the top step of the podium yet, neither is Peter Dempsey. So it is Peter Dempsey on the pole for this one. And good to see Jamie Moylan back down there, 23rd as well. Very competitive. He's got some great pace. Obviously just not had the best qualifying there, but he has won races in previous championships here. So good to see Jamie Moylan back out on the grid. So we're going to get ready to go then in a few moments' time. But as always, Sam, we have to wait for Oscar Mangan to get on the grid.
Yeah, he likes to play these games. It does infuriate the other drivers. I'm sure anyone who's ever raced in official series, I'm sure many of our viewers have done. It is a bit annoying when you're on the grid, you're all ready, and then some other geezer goes and waits a while. It's just Mangan now. Everyone else is on the grid. You can see that vacant spot. Also, Jamie Moylan down in 23rd position. I'm not sure if he's going to take the start. Mangan is now on the grid, and we are going to have the lights on very soon.
Here we go, Peter Dempsey and Oscar Mangan on the front row. This is going to be interesting. Heat race number 1 from Laguna Seca is go. Good start, Dempsey. Good start, Mangan. And a good start from Keith Dempsey from the second row of the grid. He surges through past Oisin Walsh at 3rd place already. Great start from the Irishman. Looking on the inside of Oscar Mangan heading towards turn 1. Oisin Walsh hangs back. McManus up the inside. Audacious move up the inside of Oisin Walsh. He gets through the 4th place. And Mangan, oh, Peter Dempsey spins on the exit. And Oscar Mangan leads as they come down towards turn number 3 here. It's Mangan from McManus now. As I think there's a problem for Mangan as well. Oh, there's multiple cars involved.
Oh,
Jason Cooper's around, and Mangan's in the gravel, as is Keith Dempsey. This is a big one here in the turn number 3 at Laguna Seca. Multiple championship contenders have just been involved in a big accident among themselves. So Keith Dempsey, Mangan, as well as Peter Dempsey spinning by himself there. So there's Oscar Mangan embroiled in a crash there. Jason Cooper involved in it as well. But now it's Brian McManus who leads to this one, and yeah, big one for the championship contenders here. We're just gonna have a quick look at it here. And yeah, that's a big one for Mangan and for poor old Keith Dempsey, who was caught up in it as well. Jason Cooper managed to get back going again. See that would look like Rob Barable was in it as well. Marchenkovas in the middle of the road as well. But unusual for these guys to be involved in these early collisions. But Brian McManus came out on top of that one. Oisin Walsh survived. Michael Devaney's in there 3rd place. Richard Faulkner, Rob Moore, Tony Stack, James Holman into the pit lane. But this is going to be an interesting one. So McManus leads, but Walsh looking on the inside, trying to think about it. But yeah, championship contenders already knocked down heat race 1. That'll put them very far down the grid in the feature race, Sam.
Sure, the stewards or the organisers will have a look back at that turn 2 incident after the race. But it just looked like Mangan and Keith Dempsey wanted to go for the same piece of circuit going into turn 2. They were both quite aggressive, and that really wasn't worth the risk. And you don't expect that from a couple of really experienced, really smart drivers. And they've absolutely ruined this race 1 for themselves. They'll be able to get back to the pits as long as they've still got enough wheels on their wagon and get the faster pair and still finish this race. But they're going to do well to finish within the reverse grid places. You can see there Keith Dempsey in 16th place. Keith Dempsey, I mean, I'm not sure what the reverse grid size is. I think it is about 16 or maybe 18. So it could be really close whether or not he gets reverse grid pole. We'll have to wait and see. But he'll be trying to make up that big gap that he's now got to that he's now suffering.
At a quick check at his top 15 who get inverted, so he's aiming for 15th place for that reverse grid pole. He's got Lawrence de Soswa ahead of him, and Niall Murray is currently in that reverse grid pole for the feature race. He's chasing after James Holman. Dara Daly just in 13th place ahead of him. They've got a big old gap then to Valentinas Marchenkovas, but the 15 laps of this one as they come down the corkscrew. It is now Brian McManus in the lead of this one, with Oisin Walsh behind him, the winner in Phoenix, as James Holman runs wide there. Here is Marchenkovas getting past Owen Murray. Owen Murray trying to challenge him here as they go side by side towards the Andretti hairpin. Turn number 1, gonna have to hang back, I think. And they come through turn 1 unscathed. Marchenkovas, of course, now ahead. But there is Oscar Mangan rejoining into the fray, and he's had a terrible one in Phoenix. It's another terrible round for Oscar Mangan, the GT4 champion, of course. As not Owen Murray runs off the road, manages to rejoin, but Oscar Mangan not having a good championship, and he needs a miracle to get himself back into the title race. But he's a long way down in the title race as well after his bad Phoenix round as well. But Marchenkovic actually is on a good charge here. He's just up ahead of him, trying to go around the outside of Keith Rabbit, looking through the little kink in the left-hander. Not easy to do that one, but Marchenkovic now going to have a little think about it under the corkscrew. He's trying to find some space, trying to go left, right, but has to hang back. On board Marchenkovic now. And as Keith Rabbit runs wide, opportunity presents itself for Marchenkovic, and into the top 10 he goes. And it's impressive to watch Marchenkovic drive, because we remember, Sam, Valentinas, of course, drives on hand controls. This is really impressive driving.
Definitely. I still can't get my head around how he does it, to be honest, how any of the guys, but there are a few which manage it. It is extremely impressive how he is quite as competitive as he is. I think got a podium in the GT4 series at Grand Touch last season, and currently up in the top 10. However, Rabbit, so that was actually unlapping himself, I think, was the car number 99, which was Oscar Mangan. So just making up that one up. I think Mangan had to tow back to the pits, hence why he's so far down. Keith Dempsey up into 13th place now, and Keith Dempsey up into 16th. So he could still be alright for him at this point, but Mangan's certainly going to be starting way down, even in the feature race. And there is Ewan Murray as well, coming out of the pits in 18th place. So a few drives home to tow back. McManus leads though still, 0.3 of a second ahead. There's not actually that many tight battles out there. There's a couple of duels going on out there. I think the pack will probably bunch back up, as well as the drivers who got involved in that lap 1 wreck come back into the fray. But at the moment, it is this one of the closest ones out there. McManus on this lap sets the fastest lap of the race. 2/100 slower actually than Walsh, but Walsh did pick up a off-track seemingly, hence why that hasn't come up as purple on our screens. And the car number 1 all over the back now.
Yeah, Jordan Kelly just pipping him by a couple of thousandths there. So Jordan Kelly sets the fastest lap of the race. Now he's in 6th, of course, winner in Daytona. Oisin Walsh, winner in Phoenix. And McManus now trying to claim a heat race victory to keep up the run of different winners that we've had for 3 so far across all races so far this season, with lap 5 of 15. Oisin Walsh just hanging in there, just not trying anything too stupid. Keith Dempsey, fast lap of the race, 169, and gets into 15th. So he's on the reverse grid pole now, is Keith Dempsey. Let's see if he can obviously try and get himself a little bit further up the field, but ideally he can just hold on to that pace. We know he's got the pace there. Started in P5 in this race, embroiled in an accident with Oscar Mangan, and Peter Dempsey, of course, spinning by himself. Peter Dempsey's in 12th now, and just climbing his way towards the front again. But Brian McManus made the move early on. That turn 1 move on Oisin Walsh proved crucial, because now he's just holding on, keeping pace right now, and keeping Oisin Walsh behind him. Michael Devaney hanging on to 3rd place there. That'll be his best result if he can hold on to that 3rd place. Richard Faulkner doing an excellent job there. Rob Moore as well did an excellent job in 5th place, I must say. But he is getting chased down by the race 1 winner in round 1. It's Jordan Kelly on the inside into turn 1. And into P5 goes Jordan Kelly in the heat race. And he can try and chase after Richard Faulkner. 2.2 seconds up the road.
In the wall.
That's Richard Faulkner. Yeah, Richard Faulkner. We were just talking about how he was doing an excellent job. I think we just cursed him. Bins it on the exit of turn number 1 in the Andretti hairpin. And let's see, does he get on the power? Does he get on the grass? Gets on the gravel and spears him straight into the wall. That's terrible for Richard Faulkner. So easy to do that with such high-powered cars. And Richard Faulkner drops out of the race.
That's a massive shame for him. He'll look back at that one as a massively missed opportunity at top 5, which isn't easy in this series whatsoever. You saw it at Daytona in the first round of the championship in particular, how you had 7 or 8 drivers fighting for each of the race wins. So when an opportunity comes up really like that, he'll be really annoyed that he hasn't been able to pick up many points, promotes a few others. That's good for Jordan Kelly, up into 4th place now. His case will be back to where he started as well, but back to the front, down to 0.2 of a second anyway, 3 for Walsh. It's not an easy to overtake circuit. This, of course, turn 1's going to be your best bet, unless you go for some heroics at the corkscrew, potentially. Also, the final corner, perhaps, but even these relatively low aero downforce cars, still a little bit of weight just for Oisin Walsh to deal with. And also, I'd say the more modern cars that iRacing have modelled tend to not be so effective in the slipstream, so won't be able to make up too many Ks down the straights either.
No, exactly. So Ocean Walsh hangs back for now. Peter Dempsey sets the fast lap of the race in 11th place. He's on a big old charge. He's chasing after Keith Rabbit right now. On board with him now as he heads through turn 2 into turn 3. Gets right up on him now as they head towards the quick right-hander here. Now trying to get a run on him. He touches him in the rear and almost ends in disaster. Keith Rabbit manages to hang on to the car, but Peter just carried so much more apex speed right there. Had to lift out of it. Keith Rabbit did an excellent job to hang on to the car. Peter Dempsey, I think, escaped without too much major damage, but that would have been another heart-stopping moment, almost another race-ending crash there, Sam.
Yeah, and he's, I think that was maybe a little bit unnecessarily close, although Holman is coming up to the back of him, so up into 10th place. This is a decent result now for Peter Dempsey. I mean, how has this happened? If anything, maybe spinning at turn 1 was a good thing in hindsight, made him avoid all the mess that occurred in the very next corner. And Dempsey, yeah, now in 10th place, 9 seconds to catch up to Marcinkovas. Doubt that will happen, although I wouldn't totally rule it out. It does seem like he has about a second and a half on Marcinkovas. I mean, you can see how much he's now clear of Rabbit as well. Holman moves up into 11th.
Look at Marcinkovas is chasing after Peter McCann, who's having a nice drive inside the top 10 right now as Peter McCann. So Marcinkovas really putting on a good show here, charging his way through the field after, of course, he's spinning in turn 2 in that lap 1 instant. Was left stranded in the middle of the road, managed to get back going again, but back up to 9th place right now. Keith Dempsey into 14th place. He'll be second on the reverse grid race, the feature race. Currently, Dara Daly is in that 15th. There is Peter Dempsey. He's about 9 seconds behind Valentinas at the moment. And it'd be good to see, even if he could just hold on to that place right there. This is an interesting one right here. This is Keith Rabbit with Niall Murray and Keith Dempsey behind him, as now up behind him goes Keith Dempsey. Tries to make his way through, gets past. Oh, a big double dive there from Keith Dempsey. Does he get up the inside? Lovely stuff from Keith Dempsey, not messing around. 2 places in the one corner. I was not expecting for it to go for a move inside the corkscrew, but wow, have a look at this one again, Sam.
That was bold. There's barely a chance with, of course, it's not really a straight there. It's kind of curving either side, and then a little bit out of control there, but just about made it. And credit to Murray for kind of turning out of the corner in the end. Dempsey now up into 12th. Oh, big crash for the lead, and how much damage is there for Walsh? McManus is off the circuit. He's going to lose that place, and he's going to have a lot of damage surely on that car. But how is Walsh's car? Can he get to the end? No. And there's another impact, and that's Walsh out of the race at the corkscrew.
Lapped traffic. Was that
no,
Michael Devaney? They were the lead, and Michael Devaney has made contact with Oisin Walsh after the McManus made contact with him. I think McManus has carried on. Yes, he has. So McManus is still going. There he is. It doesn't look like there's absolute major damage, but that has promoted Jordan Kelly into 2nd place, with Rob Moore now into 3rd, Tony Stack in 4th. This has really shaken things up. Oisin Walsh is out. I'm really at a loss as to what happened there, Sam.
So here's the, I mean, moves at that corner are always going to be tricky too far. I don't think Walsh does anything wrong. McMahon so fortunate to avoid the wall there. And then this was for the lead, I think. He goes for it, does the 24. Oh, well.
No, it was Lawrence Oswa.
Oh, sorry, yeah, absolutely right, as you were saying with the back marker. Seemed like Walsh was letting him have it, and then kind of turned into the corner quite acutely, and that's how the contact was made. Very strange incident.
Yeah, looks like it. So Oisin Walsh carried on, and then De Soswa, I think, just made a misjudgment on the brakes, tapped Walsh, and then poor old Michael Devaney was just completely innocent in that one, and piled straight into Oisin Walsh. But now McManus, I think, managed to keep the car out of the barrier, so there's no major damage, but he is getting caught rapidly by Jordan Kelly in 2nd place. It's down to 1.6 seconds. It's a VRA Racing 1-2 at the moment. Rob Moore in 3rd place. He'll be chuffed to the bits with this one. And an interesting one as well for Rob Moore. He's going to be the highest scoring man in the championship fight. Rob Moore is right up there in the title fight. He's been there with consistent results. He's 3rd place right now. Rob Moore currently 5th in the championship, 25 points off the lead. Oisin Walsh rejoins on that inside there with McManus here. And we'll see now as they rejoin. So Oisin Walsh going to rejoin just behind us, keeps out of the way, but Jordan Kelly rapidly catching him. Rob Moore 3rd, Tony Stack in 4th, Shane Rabbit 5th, Marcinkovas in 6th, McCann, Peter Dempsey, Michael Devaney, and Peter Dempsey again with the fastest lap of the race. James Holman and Keith Dempsey. And we ride on board now with Jordan Kelly, the feature race winner from Daytona, senses another victory here, and he's got his teammate right in front of him, and then you can see the straight line speed advantage with Jordan Kelly. Gets right on the rear wing of his teammate up towards the corkscrew to take the lead here in the heat race number 1 at Laguna Seca. Jordan Kelly to the inside line, and Brian McManus is not going to fight that one, lets his teammate through, and Jordan Kelly back into the lead, an unexpected lead at that one after all the incidents that have occurred, and Jordan Kelly leads. Brian McManus is second. And off the road again goes McManus. He's under pressure here. There's definitely damage on the car, and I think it'll be a miracle for him if he's going to be able to hang on even to a podium slot here, because he could be under pressure from Rob Moore at the end of this race.
Seems like he's losing about 2 seconds a lap. He's currently got an 8-second lead, so we've got 4 more laps to go. He might be alright for second place. There you go, a 19.4. His fastest lap is a 17.0, and that he was overtaken on that lap, and also ran a little bit off circuit, so maybe a second and a half more, not catching enough at the moment. Stack and Rabbit pretty close as well. I mean, Dempsey's not going to be far off the podium by the end of this one. There is Mo, but Dempsey's currently about 18 seconds off the podium. He's lapping 3 seconds a lap faster. He might be within 5 seconds of the podium. Everyone from 2nd to 8th is all going to be really clustered up by the end of this, because they're all kind of moving in on one another, and also Devaney as well in 9th place, recovering after a pit stop, still ahead of Holman. He's on his way as well, so keep watching this race one, because in these mid places in the top 10, it could get very interesting.
Exactly. Michael Devaney, of course, I think he'd be thinking he's robbed of a race victory, caught up, of course, innocently in that crash, and he is still circulating. There he is, with Peter Dempsey up ahead of him. He has been passed by him, of course, after the pit stop. James Holman in the top 10, but he's also getting chased by Keith Dempsey, who's a little ways further down the road. Richard Faulkner's right in the middle there as well. Richard Faulkner, of course, also caught up earlier on, of course, with his own spin as well, so he could have been out in the lead as well if he hadn't made the mistake. So you can see Brian McManus losing 1.1 seconds to Jordan Kelly on that lap, and yeah, it's an interesting one. Rob Moore 18.5, so he seems to be hanging on okay, actually, does McManus, and managing his pace now as they all lap within the 18s. Fastest man, actually, out of all the guys in the top 10, apart from Jordan Kelly, was Valentinas Marchenkovic. Michael Devaney lapping in a 1:16.8, Peter Dempsey 1:16.4, so he's flying, and James Holman now under pressure from Keith Dempsey. So Keith Dempsey trying to recover something here, and does Holman move over and let him through? Yes, he does, and Keith Dempsey goes through into the top 10, so the Dempseys have recovered very, very well here after that lap 1 turn 2 crash, but certainly robbed of a top 3. The 2 laps to go when we cross the line. Next, Jordan Kelly on to break the winner's streak here and to secure a second race win. Of course, the heat race wins. We'll be the first to win 2 heat races, but we still have the feature race one that has yet to be decided, and that'll be Rob Barble. He's trying to get past here and should be able to get through there, no problems at all. Peter Dempsey making the move on Peter McCann. He's into 7th place now, Peter Dempsey, so it should give him a nice place on the reverse grid race. Brian McManus a really bad lap, that one, 1:20.0. Rob Moore is 5.4 seconds off, and this is Nicky Meredith and Oscar Mangan behind him, who are trying to unlap themselves while also being involved in their own battle. And this could be a little bit hairy, Sam, because necessarily these guys don't need to, well, essentially McManus doesn't need to move over, but Meredith and Mangan need to be careful as Brian McManus gets very, very loose on the grass. How on earth has he held on to that and backs out, I think, a bit wisely there after all that with the damage, but yeah, certainly life flashed before his eyes right there.
Once again, dipping a wheel onto the sand, onto the gravel, whatever it is, around this circuit. Here comes Mangan. You wouldn't know this is for 20th place, would you? Out of 23 starters, even 22. Oh yeah, still 23 running in fact. But yeah, this could well be believed with the quality of these couple of drivers. Mangan just staying behind at the moment in the car number 99. Remember, had to tow after a crash on the opening lap. McManus with that actually gaps down to 3.4 seconds, but we are moving on to the white flag lap now. So McManus should just about cope Keaton Dempsey is going to be so annoyed. I think he might get 6th, Dempsey, but another 3 laps, and I think he could have well got himself onto the podium. He has come back extremely strongly. Any other changes at the moment? In fact, it's all white on our timing screen, apart from that battle for 20th and 21st places. Fastest lap of the race, therefore, Keith Dempsey as well in 10th place. One thing's for certain, the feature race is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have some pretty quick guys near the front of the grid.
Yeah, a couple of guys out of position as well. So Jordan Kelly circulating. He's going to try and break the winner tickets. Keith Dempsey goes off the road in the background, keeps it going though. So Jordan Kelly, I think he'll be really surprised at this one. Nonetheless, kept his nose out of the incidents. This is only the heat race, so the feature race is obviously the important one. He'll be starting down in 15th in that one. But either way, it's another win to add to his tally after not winning for almost a year. He's going to add another one to his belt right here. Win number 2 and breaks the streak. Jordan Kelly comes to the line and he will win the heat race here in Laguna Seca and becomes the only guy to win more than one race this season. Brian McManus, has he held on to 2nd place? Yes, he has. Even after all of that, comes across the line in 2nd. Robert Moore, what a drive from Rob Moore, 3rd place in the heat race. He'll be delighted. And Tony Stack as well. What a drive from Tony as well. Shane Rabbit, 5th place. And Valentinas and Marchenkovas and Dempsey to the line. And Marchenkovas just pips him by the smallest of margin there. Peter Dempsey almost got in front. But Marchenkovas, a fantastic recovery. Peter Dempsey, a great recovery. Peter McCann, Michael Devaney, what could have been for him? Keith Dempsey gets 10th place. James Holman, Niall Murray, Jason Cooper. And on the front row for the feature will be Keith Rabbit and Arias Yamantis. So we'll wait and see how Arias is going to be able to do in these features. With Jordan Kelly, his 2nd win this season. It's only the heat race, but that'll mean a hell of a lot with all the incidents that happened in front of him. And a VRA Racing 1-2. Brian McManus can't take that result away from him. Did very well, even with that damage. Rob Moore, Tony Stack, and Shane Rabbit, and Valentinas Marchenkovas, Peter Dempsey, Peter McCann, Michael Devaney, and Keith Dempsey. As I said, Sam, this feature race is going to be a hell of a lot of fun because we've got some guys really out of position, and we like what we always like to see as well. Even though Oscar Mangan, it's a typical kind of Oscar Mangan day. He's had a terrible heat race, but he is coming from the back, so I wonder are we going to see a typical Oscar Mangan charge in the feature race?
Certainly, fingers crossed. It could be a very entertaining race for him. But yeah, we've got all the fast guys kind of scattered about for the grid in race 2. So will be very tight. Will that one, and also the starts as well. How will the drivers deal with it after the craziness of the race 1 start? Will be interesting.
Are you looking to get involved in simulator racing? Here at Digital-Motorsports.com, we're a one-stop shop for all your sim racing needs, supplying wheels, pedals, shifters, handbrakes, monitors, virtual reality headsets, seats, chassis, fully built sim solutions and custom built PCs from all the top brands that you know and love. To find out more, visit Digital-Motorsports.com. Are you itching to get racing? Whether it's circuit racing, drifting, rallying or even karting, here at Digital-Motorsports.com we run some of the best online leagues in the world. To get involved, visit our website at Digital-Motorsports.com and enroll for our next event.
But this could prove interesting, and I believe this could be Keith Dempsey losing the championship lead. This is getting really spicy. This is exactly what I like.
Well, we kind of missed out on this the last couple of seasons, haven't we? In the TCR and in the GT4, it's been so comfortable for the championship winner. I mean, I don't think Mangan had a result outside the top 6 when he won the title. So I don't think Dempsey had a result outside the top 6 either when he won the title. So I see these championship contenders having some problems, having some up and downs during the season because even at this point of the season, pretty much everyone has had a non-finish. So no, it's great.
Well, here we go. Arias Mantis on the pole position for the feature race. Keith Rabbit on the front row as well. Jason Cooper and Niall Murray. And the guys to watch here, James Holman and Keith Dempsey on row 3. So Keith Dempsey nice and high up in this one for him. Michael Devaney, Peter McCann, Peter Dempsey in 9th place, and Valentinas Marchenkovas in 10th. Then we'll have Shane Rabbit, Tony Stack, and then Rob Moore, Brian McManus, and the winner from Heat Race 1, Jordan Kelly. So here we go for the feature race. Settle in for this one. This is going to be brilliant. The lights illuminate, and a massive jump start from Keith Rabbit. He's decided to go, and Keith Rabbit leads away with a massive jump start. RAC Mantis in second, and Keith Dempsey with an absolute flyer from the third row of the grid into second, into turn one then. Jason Cooper on the inside of James Holman. I think everybody's a little bit confused off the start line there. Keith Dempsey takes full advantage and takes second place. Now trying to go for the lead as they come through here. Problems for a big stack up in the back and round as well for a couple of guys. But we look now with Niall Murray trying to make his way through here. Rob Barble spinning right there as he coming out of turn 2, manages to rejoin. But Marchenkovic into 8th place right now. But Keith Rabbit, what on earth was that?
I don't know. Maybe he's colourblind. I'm not quite sure, but he went well early. He launched off back in Daytona. Right there was how early that start was. Yamantis off the circuit. Oh, it was a decent start for Yamantis. I think he was up inside the top 10. We'll have to kind of get that car back to the pits to pick up a faster pair. There is Rabbit, so it'll be Keith Dempsey then leading the race. He's up 3 places, Dempsey, but in reality, he's up 4, with, of course, Jordan Kelly tying back to the pit, so it's not going to be a good race 2 for Kelly. Rabbit, for some sort of reason, hasn't come into the pits for his stop-and-go penalty. I'm sure he has got one, and he is staying out there, which is going to make it very difficult for the others to overtake him when he's not really racing them.
Yeah, Jordan Kelly into the pit lane, Rob Moore, Tony Stack, the guys who finished high up in race number 1 are all the way down in the pit lane. So Keith Dempsey's the leader, Jason Cooper is second, and the guys who started on row 3 with him. So James Holman now going to make the move on Keith Rabbit, who has to jerk out of the way right there. So Holman moves to 3rd now. So Keith Dempsey and James Holman both started on row 3, have had fantastic getaways, and they're now 1st and 3rd. Michael Devaney up to 5th. Brian McManus and Peter Dempsey together in 7th and 8th. And Oscar Mangan, I told you, 9th place for Oscar Mangan from 23rd on the grid. He's on a charge right here as he's fighting away with Nicky Meredith and Oisin Walsh as well. So the championship contenders are back in it now, keeping out of trouble. Nicky Meredith ahead of him there, and looks like Niall Murray up ahead of him, as now you can see Peter Dempsey and Brian McManus side by side into the corkscrew. McManus trying to fend him off there onto the entry of that corkscrew corner. But Oscar Mangan, again, one of his trademark fantastic starts in the feature, and he's on a charge with Oisin Walsh as well. Michael Devaney making a position up on Keith Rabbit, who I'm sure has got a drive through, but it seems to be not be serving, and he goes for a move up the inside of Devaney into the final corner. Marchenkovic says, thank you very much, I'll have both of those places. Front wings flying in the background, and I think the front wing is off the front of the car of Niall Murray, missing the front wing as they come towards turn number 1. There was contact in the background. This is going to get a little bit interesting as Mangan in the middle of both of them here as they head towards turn 1. Walsh kind of comes through, but up the middle goes Oisin Walsh. Contact between cars of Meredith and Murray, but great move from Oscar Mangan up the middle of both of those cars and secures 9th place. Oisin Walsh has to hang back as Shane Rabbit comes through as well, but he's had a decent getaway as well as in the background. Oh dear, who's that going to? Michael Devaney, I think that was, is off in the background. Yeah, it's Michael Devaney again in the gravel trap, broken car, and an awful round for Michael Devaney. Here we have a look at it as he turns in, and just nothing he could have done about that one. Makes tyre contact off into the barrier. I don't think he knew that Murray was on his inside there, but unfortunately that's race over, and a non-finish in almost both. Well, he finished in the top 10 in the previous race, but no non-finish in the feature, as Peter McCann has to try and fend off Nicky Meredith here. But everything has happened in the opening couple of laps here. But one thing's for certain, it's Keith Dempsey the leader, Jason Cooper 2nd, and James Holman in 3rd place. Brian McManus with Peter Dempsey getting dragged up. Oscar Mangan is actually on the back of them now, so this is proving interesting as Dempsey has a little look. They come to the last corner, but Mangan on one of his trademark charges again, Sam, and this is exactly what we've seen in the GT4 Championship.
And that'll be an easy move on Keith Dempsey as well. That would have been one of his most tricky moves, but Dempsey not going for a particularly smart overtake going into the final corner. He'll try to come back around the outside. That's a good exit for him. However, Mangan just about with his car ahead. He cuts off the line on the exit, and Dempsey will have to wait for a better opportunity. Mangan will try to get past the next couple of corners. He needs to try to get past before the corkscrew so he can make a break for it. Keith Rabbitt's still not coming in. I don't know what's going on. This must be the last that they can come to the pits, but if Rabbit has got a drive through to serve. Oh, contact! And Mangan is round. He's thrown caution to the wind, and he's now been properly wrecked out of the race. That is Oisin Walsh as well, who'd had a good comeback. Walsh, he was up about 10 places himself. And, well, Mangan just... it was clear that he wasn't thinking of the championship. He was just going for as many places to gain as possible, which is fair enough, absolutely. You know, you can be aggressive if you want. But that time, I think it was just a little bit too much. Didn't leave enough space.
Brian McManus making contact with him, and McManus manages to survive once again. He's been in the war as Brian McManus, but he's survived again. But it's going to be another awful day for Oscar Mangan, and poor Oisin Walsh, again the innocent party in that one. And Jason Cooper just a tiny tad faster than Keith Dempsey. Of course, he must have had an off track on that lap, so he did not get the fastest lap, but he is matching him. And we did see this before, Jason Cooper and Keith Dempsey in the TCR cars. We know how quick Jason is in those TCR cars, but now chasing after Keith Dempsey out in the lead by 1.9 seconds. So Keith can't relax. They've had their battles before, these two. James Holman as well, hanging in there very nicely in third place. And let's not forget about Marchenkovic in fourth place on the hand controls.
Rabbit.
Oh no,
Keith
Rabbit, I think, has he finally come in or has he crashed? And he's back in the pit lane, but Keith Rabbit has dropped out of it now, and he's definitely now going to be out of there. Shane Rabbit, the brother, is inside the top 10 now. Brian McManus with damage. Shane Rabbit looks to the inside line of the corkscrew. Just enough space given up the inside. Can he make it stick? McManus will hang around the outside of the corkscrew, very close, but Shane Rabbit gets it done. And McManus has got to struggle around with even more damage sustained in this race. McManus and... it looks like with Shane Rabbit into the 6th place now. Keith Dempsey sets the fast lap on that one, so he's just eking out a small lead in this one. But as a result of all that, it's McManus, McCann, DeSoswa, and Dara Daly inside the top 10 now. But you can see big names in the pit lane, well, down the back. Jordan Kelly, Michael Devaney, Oisin Walsh, Oscar Mangan, Owen Murray. Jamie Moylan, of course, didn't take the start. So there's big names that have knocked themselves out of this race, have been involved in an instance, but it's given the guys who've been keeping consistent a chance. So you've got guys like James Holman in with the chance of a podium, and Marchenkovic on for a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I mean, Marchenkovic in particular has really impressed me. James Holman, a driver who we've seen in the Apex Racing League GT Championship, mega consistent. In the top 10 in the championship, has got one of the worst kind of best results of anyone in the top 10. He just finishes in 6th to 10th pretty much every single round he does. So he is a very competitive driver, is James Holman. But Marchenkovic, after a bit of a poor qualifying for him, can be a heap of points, of course, for him today, which will be fantastic for him. Peter Dempsey, though, on his way, 17.25 to fair, Marchenkovic, 17.54. That is within a second, even within half a second of the race leaders' times at the moment. What does he do this time? Crosses the line and does a 17.54, so more good times right now for Marchenkovic. In fact, everyone in the top 5 pretty evenly matched, as Peter Dempsey does just dip into the 16s himself now with the fastest 4th sector of anyone. 5 sectors around this extremely short circuit. Thanks iRacing for doing that one, but Dempsey is certainly on his way.
Yeah, Peter Dempsey, that is, fastest of the top 5 at the moment, and is trying to chase a podium place potentially. Of course, he's fighting for the championship, don't forget, so he needs as many good results as he possibly can. So any points he can gain will be, of course. Now I'm just checking, Oisin Walsh will not score any points. He's out of this race. Oscar Mangan out of the race. Keith Rabbit out. Niall Murray out. Rob Barble out. So lots of non-finishers in this one. And I think Peter Dempsey, with those non-finishes of Oisin Walsh and Wayne Douglas, should take second in the championship. And Keith Dempsey, even after all the problems, looks like he might just about hang on to his championship lead. It's going to be very close. But of course, there's still 2 rounds to go, so anything can happen. And but a 16.5, he's lapping much quicker than the guys behind him. 17.2 for Cooper, 17.2 for Holman, 16.8 for Peter. So he is in a class of his own at the moment, as Keith Dempsey, but there's still a ways to go here. Here's Rob Moore chasing after Tony Stack, on board with him now as he runs off into the grass a little bit. I say grass, it's just dust really on the outside. As he now gets in the slipstream, gonna have a try and think about it into turn number 1. Rob Moore as well in the top 5 in the championship, so really needs just any point score. He's had a good result in heat race 1, just needs some points on the board after being involved in a turn 1 accident, of course. So now didn't quite get the exit on Tony that time. Both of these guys finished 3rd and 4th respectively. Rob Moore getting 3rd and Tony Stack 4th in heat race 1. So either way, they'll be happy with the results that have come out. But Arias Imantas in 13th, he'll be kicking himself. He was in the lead of this race earlier on. That looks like Dara Daly. Dara Daly spun right there. He was in the top 10 right there. But let's have a quick look. Did he get on the grass on the exits of turn 2 here? It looks like that could be the culprit. No, lost it on the entry. Interesting. So obviously just chucked it in a little bit too much. And just a quick spin. Nice 360. Gets it back facing the right way and gets straight back going again. But he loses 3 spots or 4 spots in the making. But thankfully kept it out of the wall, and that's what matters.
Yeah, can still recover from there. Oh, actually quite tight, aren't they, outside this top 10? We've got 10th down to 14th. 14th, all separated by about 3 seconds at the moment. In fact, I think, did Daly just or Faulkner maybe just got past Daly, so that was a little bit of a move just a moment ago. Stack still just ahead of Moore. That's a poor exit though for Stack. He just seemed to struggle to get the power down. Yamantis has went on his way as well after a spin earlier on, of course, for Yamantis. So he goes down the inside, not quite close enough. The livery I've got on Moore, I really like. It's quite simple. It's like a purple colour with red on it. I think it's looks very good. I don't know if the broadcaster's got that paint or not, but it seems like it does. I'm a big fan of that one. Simple but effective.
Yeah, easy to pick out as well. So kudos to you, Rob, for the easy to pick out livery. But he's getting chased by Arias Imantas right now and Tony Stack, who's doing an excellent job. So this is the fight for the top 10. So this is the fight for 10th that these guys are embroiled in now. Imantas trying to recover after, of course, losing the race lead earlier on with his own spin. He's going to think about it into the corkscrew. Rob Moore defends that. Wise to that one. They come through the corkscrew once again. Yamantis trying to look for it on the exit right here as they come through, and Rob Moore has a mistake on the exit. Yamantis takes it and moves to 11th place. That's Jordan Kelly behind him, who's a lap down, so he's just let these guys through. So Jordan Kelly, winner of Heat Race 1, and he's all the way down in 16th at the moment. But either way, all he needs to do really is get that car across the line and keep his finishing record up. Halfway through this race right now, and I know earlier on in the practice sessions earlier in the week, the guys were concerned about the fuel. It was in the fixed setup. I believe they've got it fixed now, but I wonder, could we maybe see something like what happened in Oulton Park not too long ago, where in the GT4s, where the guys nearly ran out of fuel and they're dying few laps, and we're going to quite see anything like that this time around, but it certainly adds something to it nonetheless. Keith Dempsey's 16.6, mega consistent lap times out front at the moment, 16.6, 16.8 for Jason Cooper, he does a personal best, 16.9 for Holman, so they're all lapping within a couple of tenths of each other, but not really gaining. You can see the gain and loss right there, just a tenth of a second each time really. But Keith Dempsey doing his job out front, and Peter Dempsey just chipping away at the gap to Marchenkovic at the moment, trying to gain 4th place. So Peter Dempsey really, his aim at the moment is to try and maybe sneak into 3rd place if he could possibly do it. And Dara Daly, that's a car in pieces, unfortunately. And Dara Daly, not quite sure what happened to him. Let's have a quick look here. Is it in the same corner? Oh, it's exactly where Richard Faulkner did it in heat race number 1, and bins it on the exit of turn number 1 and ends up in the barrier. And Dara Daly, unfortunately, out of this race, on for points, but unfortunate. And that has been the problem corner. Sam is the second victim.
Yep, it's quite unremarkable, isn't it, that corner? You really don't expect it, and just one of the few places where there isn't a whole lot of runoff and spinning around, almost completely identical. I'm sure if you had a little bit of a ghost at one over the other, it'd be very difficult to distinguish between the two. So yeah, just showing the difficulty of this Laguna Seca circuit. Fastest 3rd sector now for Peter Dempsey. He's got the gap down to 1.7 seconds now to the front. No, it's just a little bit of a word as well on the sand. I think we were talking about it earlier on. I think I recall just before Rallycross was released about 2.5 years ago. I think someone on the forums was promoting an event where you just drive on this circuit in the MX-5, but you're not allowed on the tarmac. But you can drive all the way on the gravel because pretty much you can have a nice little rally course around this circuit if you did use that little bit of layout. So iRacing would like that one, please. That would be a lot of fun.
Someone make that one-off event happen, please. We'd love to see that. Just MX-5s on the dirt, and we'll see if somebody takes us up on that offer. That I think that'd be really entertaining. But Arias Imantes actually just passed Tony Stack for that 10th place, so he's back into the top 10 again after the mistake from Rob Moore. But Tony Stack falls to 11th. Rob Moore still in there at 12th. Richard Faulkner 13th, and a number of retirements, of course, in this one. And Dara Daly now exiting the pit lane again. Michael Devaney's back in the pit lane. Keith Rabbit is out. Oscar Mangan is out. Niall Murray is out, and Rob Barwell is out. Keith Dempsey, I'm just looking at those mega consistent 116s out front, nearly a second faster than most of the guys at the moment. James Holman 117.1 and Marchenko's 117.4. Peter Dempsey 116.7 on that lap, so he's matching his brother for pace at the moment out front. Let's see, you can see in the background Tony Stack under a bit of pressure now from Rob Moore. He's managed to latch back onto his rear as they exit through this part of the circuit, trying to get back past here. This has been a really intriguing battle between all these guys. They've been so evenly matched, and we'll see who's going to come out on top in this battle as they exit through the last corner to start lap 13. Richard Faulkner in the background as well, trying to get back on terms. Now in the slipstream, which is extremely powerful in these cars, of course, Indy Pro 2000 cars on the Road to Indy program, and gets on the grass a little bit on the entry. Not exactly what you want to do, but avoids a lockup. Exits now, gets a good exit behind Tony, now moves to the inside, but again has to hang back for the moment. So Tony Stack doing an excellent job keeping Rob Moore behind, but losing touch with Arias Imantes. Arias Imantes is now the chase of Lawrence de Soswa, who's on for a top 10 finish. Would be an excellent result for Lawrence, who's lapping around there in 9th. And Jason Cooper's had a pretty bad lap on that one in P2, 1:18.0. I'm not sure what happened to Jason that time. But James Holman took about 0.6 of a second out of him on that lap. Peter Dempsey 1:16.8 matches his brother out front. So Marchenkov is still hanging on to that fourth, but I think inevitably, Sam, he's going to be caught by Peter Dempsey.
Yeah, if we have more than 20 laps, I'm not sure if he's going to be there in time. If he can get back on... Oh, no, that's a spin for Holt. Well, who is that a spin for? Apologies, that was for Murray. I think it was for Murray. On my screen at least, he's running a T3 livery, so thought that may have been Holman for a second there, but fortunately it was not. But yeah, as long as Cooper gets back onto into the mid 17s, and actually has just opened up the gap, from 1.9 to 2.2 on this lap, and Dempsey as well, fastest first sector now to Peter Dempsey. I'd love to know what his optimal best lap is, because he seems to occasionally put in those purple sectors, but he doesn't tend to get a run of them all in the same lap. I think on Marchenkovic, this is just a matter of time now. They've also got the back marker just ahead of them. I think that was, I'm not sure who that was in fact. So they've just overtaken us now. Going defensive is Marchenkovic, and just getting past the back marker. Dempsey 0.3 of a second behind. That's a poor exit though for Marchenkovic. Here comes Dempsey round the outside into 2, and that was rather simple in the end. Marchenkovic will be frustrated they couldn't put up more of a fight, but once again that dreaded Andretti hairpin dipping a wheel onto the sand, and then they just cannot get the traction down onto the circuit.
Yeah, exactly. Just a twitch on the exit, hands 4th place away, but it looks like Marchenkovic is going to be extremely safe in that top 5. He'll be even happy to finish in the top 5. He's got 16.7 seconds back to Shane Rabbit in 6th place. He's safe in P5 at the moment, but Peter Dempsey has now got a gap of about 4.2 to try and close down, as Lawrence de Soswa he spun in turn 1 as well, and is now losing a ton of places right here as Rob Moore goes through, still trying to get past Tony Stack, but not able to. Tony Stack now into 10th place, and now this battle turns into a battle for the top 10 as a result of that one. So It's our Easy-Mantis to 9th, Stack to 10th, Moore into 11th, DeSazwa back down to 12th place. Jason Cooper did a personal best on the lap, so he's now on a 1:16.8 and really opened up the gap versus James Holman there on a 1:17.4. Now that 1:17.0 for Peter Dempsey is of course adding on to the fact that he was chasing down Marchenkovic going for a move. Now Rob Moore also thinking about a move on Tony here, coming through into the corkscrew. This is a great little battle between these guys going on for a couple of laps, and just doesn't seem that Rob Moore's able to find a gap. It seems that Tony seems to get the power down a little bit better out of the slow corners, that Rob is not able to do anything.
Yeah, it just seems to maybe be a bit of a Constantino effect at the moment where you can get close in the braking zones, but not close enough by the middle of the straight. And once again, that looks a little bit too much. Starts to close in, but just looking at the relative, which you can check out in the live timing link below, provided by SDK Gaming, you can see the gaps between the drivers down to 100th of a second. And on that, it was barely gaining anything, just a couple of hundredths, or maybe about a tenth of a second across that entire pit straight down into the Andretti hairpin. But around this part of the circuit, he's all over the back of him, just not staying quite tight enough, down to a tenth actually now. He's got to go for the move surely down the inside. Here he goes into this banked corner, and that was simple enough for Moore in the end. Good join there from Stack as well to just open up the steering, leave his rival a bit of space. Up into 9th place now is as off the circuit. Oh, and surely into his rival as well. That was Stack being wiped out. Who was it that hit him? That was that Murray, I think, who hit him. Was Murray?
Oh, yeah. No, he just managed to get spinning again, but rejoins, and poor Tony Stack just gets collected with the left rear end, and completely innocent there was poor Tony, but manages to trying to get the car going again, but there will be certainly damage on that car, suspension damage, and he rejoins, but terrible one for Tony Stack. It actually looks like there's less damage than I thought, actually. He managed to maybe survive, but certainly dropped him out of the battle for the points. And you can see in the background, actually, that the person behind him now is our race leader, Keith Dempsey. So just behind him, 2.3, there is Keith Dempsey out in the lead. He's led almost every lap, and he's got about an 8-second gap back to Jason Cooper right now. So Keith has put in one hell of a performance today once again. And it's quite surprising, actually. I think it's shown the competitiveness of this championship, discarding the incidents. Keith Dempsey has not won a race at all this season. This is going to be his first one.
Wasn't particularly far up in qualifying either, was it? Maybe 4th on the grid? Certainly outpaced by his brother Peter, and yet he's comfortably beaten Peter. He's now 13 seconds ahead of Peter in this race too. So certainly turning it up when he needs to. Keith Dempsey, and that will certainly help him out in the championship. Would be the 4th different winner we've had so far this season. Still plenty to go. I mean, I think there's still going to be a lot of drivers in the mix, and just as well with the mistake, car number 24 goes down to 14th. That is one place recovered for Tony Stack. Is that Stack just ahead of him? No, it wasn't. Sorry, I think there's another driver who seems to have his left rear completely off the ground going through the penultimate corner, but no, Stack's car is all right. Oh, we got another incident, and that is that's Lawrence once
Jason
again.
Cooper.
Well, Jason Cooper from formerly 2nd place is down to 5th. All of a sudden, there goes Marchenkovic. How much damage has he got? Can he get to the end of the race? Looks like there's a bit of damage, but not too bad. Back markers again.
Yeah, again, I think DeSazwa spun in front of Jason Cooper, and he couldn't avoid. So let's have a quick look at this one again. I'm pretty sure DeSazwa spun in the last corner, and Jason Cooper could do nothing about it. And
no.
yeah, there you go. I think he just went straight into the back of him. I think DeSazwa was very slow on the exit, and Jason just... Luckily, I think there's only a bit of front wing damage, but he's lost 2nd place and 3rd place as well. But yeah, just on board with him now, you can see suspension damage and front wing damage. How many positions is he going to lose is the question. He's got 16.2 seconds back to his nearest rival. He should be okay with 2 laps to go now, but he's handed a podium to Peter Dempsey, who's been on a great charge. So Peter Dempsey into 3rd now, and we've got one more lap to go when we cross the line. It's flew by this race. And James Holman is only 2.2 ahead of him, but if there was more laps, maybe. But across the line, white flag waves. Keith Dempsey out in the lead right now, and on course to secure his first win of the season and hold on to his championship lead. We think the points will be done, of course, in a day or two. We'll get the points table, but yeah, it was an interesting day for Keith nonetheless. We'll be hearing from him after this race is finished. Hopefully, we're hearing from a few of these guys. But yeah, Keith Dempsey has not won a race at all. It's round 3. There's now been 4 different winners. Only one repeat winner in the heat race, and that is Jordan Kelly. He was the winner in the feature in Daytona, and he was the heat race winner today. The race winners have been, of course, Jordan Kelly in Daytona. It was Oisin Walsh in Phoenix, and barring any major errors at this point in time, it's going to be Keith Dempsey to stand on the top step of the podium for the first time this season in the feature races. But Wayne Douglas in Daytona, Jordan Kelly in Daytona, Oisin Walsh in Phoenix, Jordan Kelly in Heat Race 1 today. And to add to that list of winners coming through the last corner, long time coming, a little bit later than he expected, but through the last corner, Keith Dempsey back on top once again. He wins in Laguna Seca in round 3. James Holman will wait for him to cross the line and fast lapped out to his tallies. Well, James Holman, what a fantastic drive. If there was one more lap, he would have been in trouble, but across the line, best result here. Second place for James Holman, and Peter Dempsey joins his brother on the podium in third place. Valentinas Marchenko, we've got to give props to him for a fantastic drive to fourth. And Jason Cooper, is he going to hold on for fifth place? He should be able to, but he'll be fuming. Jason Cooper, after hanging on to second for the entire race, crawls across in fifth place. Shane Rabbit with it in sixth place. Brian McManus, of course, we saw him. It's one almost robbed of a victory there. McManus crossed the line. He'll get seventh place. He's got his teammate. Is he going to give the place to Peter McCann? They're going to cross the line. Well, almost in tandem. 2 VRA cars crossing the line. I think McManus is just going to hold on to that seventh. And Peter McCann will get eighth place. His best result. Arias Mantis, who started on the pole, he gets ninth. And Rob Moore manages to cross the line for 10th. Wins that battle. Nicky Meredith 11th. And Richard Faulkner 12th. Tony Stack, DeSoswa, Kelly, Daly, and Murray are the final classified finishers in this one. Two pretty mad races. Championship contenders out in race 1, but Keith Dempsey recovering to the win in the second race. What a mad one, Sam. In Laguna Seca certainly did not disappoint today.
No, it was incidents of plenty in both races, and yeah, Keith Dempsey delivering Turn 3 Motorsport 1, 2, 3. They did that in the TCR series, I believe, maybe even a couple of times, but that's the first time that's happened for a little while. So congratulations to those guys. Look at that gap though, 12.8 seconds, and the fast lap of the race as well right at the end. If there's any doubt who was the king of California today, it was certainly Pete Dempsey with that last effort.
Keith Dempsey back on top once again after a long wait to get that first win. James Holman gets his best result of second here in Laguna Seca. Peter Dempsey, if he had one more lap, he could have maybe just got that second place, but he drives back to third place. Valentinas Marchenkovic in fourth, then Jason Cooper in fifth. He'll be really, really disappointed with that one. Shane Rabbit, Brian McManus, Peter McCann with a great eighth place there. Arias Mantis in ninth, Rob Moore then in 10th, then Nicky Meredith and Richard Faulkner in 12th. Tony Stack, of course, taken out with that spin from Owen Murray. Lawrence DeSoswa in 14th. Then Jordan Kelly, the winner of the heat race, down in 15th place. Darrell Daly and Owen Murray. Then, of course, a big list of non-finishers. Michael Devaney, Keith Rabbit, and key, of course, Oscar Mangan and Oisin Walsh, non-finishers. Niall Murray and Rob Barrow will be the final classified finisher here today. Jamie Moylan, of course, did not take the start of this race. So, Laguna Seca has been certainly one to remember, and it's been a fantastic race today. And of course, we've got now a 2-week wait until the next one, which is going to be certainly a long wait, but it gives the guys time to adjust their setups. As a full US calendar as well, so we'll be jetting off to another part of the US in 2 weeks' time. But before we do that, we might just be able to get a quick word with our race winner, Keith Dempsey. We're going to drag him in now to have a word. Keith, welcome back once again to the commentary box. Certainly 2 races of attrition today. A terrible heat race 1, but managed to bring it home for the win in race 2.
Yeah, a bit unlucky in race 1 there, but yeah, got a decent starting position for the second race, and yeah, had good pace, and got a savage start again. My starts are pretty good, so got up to, I think it was second coming into the last corner, and then I think it was Keith Rabbit had it. I think he probably might have jumped to start, but he went wide in the last corner. And after that, just kind of managed it from there and pushed for the fast lap there in the last few laps. So yeah, enjoyed that.
Yeah, so of course this is your first win in the championship as well. So obviously this obviously talks to the competitiveness of this grid. It must be really tricky to actually eke results out.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the most competitive league so far. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. Like, you know, like to have more wins, but it's not that easy these days. So you have to work hard for it. So now we've been working hard, the whole group of us in the Turn 3 team. So we're pretty happy with the results. I think we had a 1, 2, 3 in that second race. I think with me, James, and then Peter. Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, we're working hard and enjoying it, having a bit of fun together, and that's the most important thing.
Talk to us about the car as well. I know it's a bit of a step up from an F3, but how tricky is it to negotiate around a circuit like Laguna Seca?
Yeah, it's a nice car to drive. Actually, it's not as it's a bit more forgiving than the F3 car. The F3 car, you had to be a little bit more precise maybe, and you couldn't kind of wring the neck of it as much. Might have suited me a little bit better. But this car is definitely you can be a little bit aggressive with it and enjoy it, and kind of, yeah, no, it's a cool car to drive. In fairness, I do enjoy it.
Great stuff. Well, before we let you go, Keith, is there anyone you'd like to give a quick thank you to?
Fair play to all Niall and stuff in Digital Motorsports and doing a great job, and then obviously yourself in the comedy box at Apex. So fair play, thanks for everything.
Thanks a million, Keith. Hopefully we'll be chatting to you next week as well, and not next week, 2 weeks time, and we'll see you back here shortly, hopefully.
Good luck.
To drag myself out of the Discord channel, well done me. But we have now got our Heat Race 1 winner in with us, and I'll hand over to Sam to have a chat with him.
Yes, Jordan Kelly is with us in the comms box. Jordan, that race 1, I doubt you could believe your eyes with what was happening in front of you. That really came towards you.
Don't chat. I just had a terrible first lap after spinning the corkscrew. I was like, right, get the head down, try and get something out of this. And then all of a sudden I heard Brian in up ahead saying that somebody, or they came together. So I was thinking, geez, you might get something P3 or maybe something like that. But I came up to it and seen that Brian had damage and the other 2 were sitting there. So I was happy out then, but still shame, or I was a bit unhappy for Brian, but sure, that's the way it goes.
And then explain to us what happened in race 2. We didn't get a clear shot of it, but it seemed like something happened at the hairpin on lap 1.
I think I done the most stupidest thing ever done in some race. I was coming around turn 4 and just watched my mirrors, make sure there was nobody there, and looked around because I'm in VR, but I looked around, and by the time I looked around, the car was spun onto the wall and I couldn't save it. So it was just painful to see. But you learn from your mistakes, I suppose.
Absolutely. Thanks for having a chat with us, Jordan. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
A shout out to the VRA racing lads and the guys at Digital Motorsports for putting the championship on, and Niall for doing a great job running it and organising everything.
Awesome. See you in a couple of weeks, Jordan.
Yep, we'll do.
So that was Jordan Kelly, our Heat Race 1 winner. Definitely doesn't sound too happy with himself with that incident earlier on. But yeah, that's going to do it for us today. So we hope you've enjoyed round 3 of the Digital-Motorsports.com Indy Pro 2000 Cup, sponsored by Next Level Racing, of course, and supported by Driver 61. It's been one of attrition. We're back at the same time in 2 weeks for round number 4, full US calendar. So we'll be back at another part of the US in 2 weeks' time. Thanks a million to Sam, of course, for joining me as always, and thanks to Sam Lee for working hard on the cameras as always. Make sure to subscribe to Apex Wrestling TV and to the iRacing Esports Network to keep up to date with everything that is happening on the iRacing scene. So that's everything from us for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, and good night.
Are you itching to get racing? Whether it's circuit racing, drifting, rallying, or even karting, here at Digital-Motorsports.com we run some of the best online leagues in the world. To get involved, visit our website at Digital-Motorsports.com and enroll for our next event.